Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger, and today I'm flying solo. And if you're watching the video of this, you can see that my office has changed around a little bit. Actually, haven't done anything except for I got a new stand-up desk and I moved it in front of the window. So I'm enjoying the natural light, although today it's cloudy and there's not much coming in here. But you'll see a tree behind me. This has always been there, well, for a few years anyway. It just it reminds me of the tree in Psalm 1 about being by streams of water. The tree yields its fruit in season, and whatever he does prospers. And so it means a lot to me, and I have several paintings of trees, various places here, and it just shows me that I'm relying on Him and relying on the Lord to bless me, to provide for me. That I just need to stay close to Him, stay close to the source, and He is the source. He is my source, and always has been. And I want Him to be that source for you too, and He can be. But today's episode, I want to talk about what are you waiting for? And before I get into that, I want to offer you my book, Finding Your Grace Place. This is probably the most important book I've ever written, honestly. It's not the most popular as far as what people have downloaded. It's also because I've not talked a whole lot about it. I felt led back in 2016 to write this and didn't really know what the purpose of it was and what I was writing it for, who necessarily I was writing it to. But that's becoming more clear. And that's kind of the subject of today's episode. Is we don't always know the plan. We don't always know what's going to be coming in advance in the future, but you just step out and start taking action. But if you just go to streamsofincomeradio.com, this is episode 71. The link will be in the show notes, streamsofincomeradio.com, episode 71. This is titled, What Are You Waiting For? A couple of weeks ago, I wrote an email to my list. And if you just go, also, you can get on that list. If you go to streamsofincomeradio.com, you can sign up for my newsletter. It comes out every Friday, along with the podcast episodes for that week. These drop every single Friday. And you'll get an email with, usually I have some type of, message at the top, and then the new podcast episode, and then some other things. I might be promoting something once in a while, but I don't do a lot of promotion. That newsletter is typically just announcing the new episode and some thoughts that I have. But a couple weeks ago, I got a lot of response from this, especially on social media. And it's called Don't Just Sit There, Take Action. And I'll read through this because I know not everybody, if you're like me, you guys get so many emails and you can't read every single one of them. And this one, here's what I wrote here. It says, imagine that you were brought into a room in which you've never been before. There are no windows. You're given a few seconds to look around. Then the lights are turned off. And it's completely dark. Your job is to find the flashlight, then the keys, so that you can get out of the room, which is locked. When you were brought in and had those few seconds to look around, you think you saw the flashlight sitting on a table off to the right. Well, what are you going to do? I bet you're going to walk very slowly with your hands moving around like this to try and locate the table first, all while making sure you don't bump into anything. Once you found the table, you'd again, ever so slowly move your hands around, touching everything to locate the flashlight. After you've located the flashlight, you'll turn it on. You'll start looking for possible places where the keys might be hidden. The point of this is, you would not sit in the dark, hoping that the lights will turn on themselves and the door magically opens. Business and even life are sometimes like this dark room. We don't see every step, but we know there's a way out of the room. So we move slowly. But the point is, we keep moving and keep trying. I've received many emails from people who say they have no idea what it is they're called to do. Or maybe you do know, but aren't sure where to start. The answer is to just move in that direction. Guys, I want to say that again. The answer is to just move in that direction. If you're not sure where that is, do what my friend Dan Miller says. Follow your curiosities. Another way to say that, follow things you're interested in. Just like, hey, I'm interested in this. I think this is cool. I'm good at this. I'm talented at this. I want to go that direction. You can go slowly. You won't get anywhere standing still. Or as a pastor friend of mine once said, God can't direct a parked car. If you're not sure what the next step is, that's okay. Take some action, even if it's slow. If you just sit there, you'll get ran over. I know some people are waiting for a sign of, what it is they're called to do or to do something. Well, holding up a sign right now. If you're watching this on video, it says, take action. This is your sign. Guys, there's a lot of things that I'm not good at. But one thing I am good at is I'm good at taking action. Even if I don't know exactly what the plan is, I don't know exactly how it's going to all play out. If I sense a prompting, I'll take action. Like in writing this book, Finding Your Grace Place, I didn't have a grand master plan for getting this out into the world. I didn't have a church to send this to. I didn't know exactly the reason I was writing this. And I didn't know who the exact audience was, honestly. But I took action because I felt called to write this. And so I did. And there's been many things in business where I had an idea and I just took action on it. And some of them have failed miserably. But the cool thing about this is none of these ideas, and I'll get to this here in a second about the reasons that hold people back from taking action and starting those things that they feel like they're called to do, is there's things holding people back, and one of them is fear. But another one, and a lot of it's fear, don't know what to do, or you think it's going to take a lot of time or a lot of money. Well, in today's world, there are so many things you can do to get started on that without any money at all, honestly, and with very little time. And I'll go through some of these examples with you. But the point is, if you have something on your heart, some of you have a dream inside of you and you think it might be too late, or you don't know how to do it. You don't know how you're going to ever accomplish some of those things. Or maybe that was a dream from a few years ago and you feel like it's passed you by. Maybe you still have that nagging feeling inside of you that you're supposed to do something with that, but you don't know what to do. Well, listen here to this episode because I'm going to help you take some action on that. It doesn't have to be massive, massive action. It doesn't have to cost you your life savings to attempt this. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. You don't have to quit your job to do this. There are things you can do to get the ball rolling in that direction. And if you're not exactly sure the next step, do something. If you're in that room and it's dark and you know the keys are over here somewhere, you're going to start walking that direction, even very slowly. But you have no excuse to sit there and not do anything. I believe wholeheartedly that those dreams, those desires that you have on the inside of you, those things that you're good at, those are gifts and talents given to you by the Lord. And those are not for you. Those are for other people. We are here for others. We are here to be a blessing to others. We're here to enjoy our life. And I will submit to you that the best way to enjoy your life, the best way to really live, to really be joyful. I said this in my newsletter last week. If you need a jolt of joy, do this, and that's go help somebody else. Guys, 2020 has been a rough year. It's been probably for a lot of people the worst year of their life. And there's a lot of things you can look around at and be depressed about. If you turn on the news for 5 seconds, you're going to be depressed. And it's easy, if you constantly look at all of that, to just be in a constant state of depression. Life is horrible. And for some of you, you need some joy in your life. And one way to do that is go help somebody else. And one way to do that also is with the things that you're good at. And so those dreams, those desires, those goals that have been in you for a long time are clues from the Lord that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And you don't have to know the whole picture to take action. I remember one, I write in the margin of my Bible, and in my previous Bible before this one that's fallen apart, I wrote, this was back in college. I was my freshman year of college. I'm from Indiana, and I went to a small school called Huntington College. Now it's Huntington University. And one Sunday night, I went home almost every weekend because my brother was still home. My friends were my high school friends. So one Sunday night, driving back up to Huntington from Pendleton, where my parents live and where I was living, it's about an hour and 15-minute drive. I was driving in some very, very dense fog. And I had to go up Highway 69 to get up to Huntington. And, it's, I don't know at the time, probably 65 mile per hour limit, but I was going way less than that. And because I couldn't see in front of me, I couldn't see very far in front of me. And that doesn't mean I stopped. Now, it's okay if you stop on the side of the road at those times, but I kept going, but I was going slowly. The point is, I couldn't see very far in front of me. All I could see is just a few, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 feet in front of that car. So that's why I was going slow. I knew where I was trying to get to, but I didn't see the full path ahead of you, a whole full path ahead of me. And many times that's the way it is. In my life, I have never been given the whole picture. I think if, God had given me the whole picture of my whole life, and it wouldn't require faith. It wouldn't require trusting him for that next step. And so you might not know what it is that next step is for you, or how you're going to get to that goal, that dream. But my message to you today is to take action, even if it's small action. Ephesians 5:16 and 17 says, making the most of the time, or making the very most, this is the Amplified version, making the very most of the time, buying up each opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be vague and thoughtless and foolish, but understanding and firmly grasping what the will of the Lord is. King James says, redeeming the time. I believe that you're put here for a purpose, and those dreams and those desires in your heart are part of what God has called you to do. And you're going to be most happy, most joyful when you are doing that which you are called to do. And I get emails from people all the time. They're like, I'm not sure what it is I'm supposed to be doing, why I was here, what the next step is. Well, I want to help each of you out today that might be in that position. So as I talk to people who are in that position, I see that there are a couple things that are stopping them from moving forward. First one is, well, you're just not sure where to start. You don't know. You're not sure. You have this big dream, big desire, and big goal, but you don't know how to take that first step. You might not even know what that next step is. Well, as my friend Dan Miller says, follow your curiosities. Let's say that you have a book inside of you. And I've talked to a lot of people who feel like they're supposed to write a book, but it's just been sitting here in their head for years and years and years, and they've not taken any action. Well, let me encourage you. Let me kick you in the rear end here a little bit. This is your sign right here. Take action. You might say, well, I don't know what my action is. I don't know how to do it. There's no excuse. There are so many ways nowadays with technology to get a book out. You could, on your phone, use the Notes app. I have an iPhone, and I can speak into my phone. I can do voice memos. I can have those voice memos transcribed and turned into a book. I have a Mac, and you can, and Mac has software where you can speak into it if you don't type. You have pen and paper, you have the old method. That message inside you is not for you. It was given to you to bless somebody else. If you you guys have all seen pictures of kids in Africa, and they show those kids with the big, huge bellies because of malnutrition, and they're essentially starving to death. If you were put in that position and you were there with them and you had food, would you say, I'm not going to give this to them because I'm not sure exactly how to do it or what this is? Or no, you're going to give it to them. You're going to provide that food for that child. You're going to step up. And I'm calling you to step up. If you have a message on your heart, you have a book to write, you have a course to create, you're supposed to be out speaking, go do it. Go take action. It doesn't have to be huge. You can start small. With writing a book, Kindle Direct Publishing, for example, is totally 100% free. You can self-publish. We talked about that on my episode with my mom and my friend Honey's daughter, Charlotte, who wrote a devotional. KDP.com. Just Google KDP or Kindle Direct Publishing. It's almost as simple as uploading a PDF file. And you can take a Word document, turn it into a PDF, and upload it, and you have your book. Hire somebody to create a cover for you. You can have all this hired out too. If you don't want to mess with it, you can easily have this all hired out and done, and you have your book created. When I did my book, Finding Your Grace Place, I didn't know exactly what it was who was going to go to, how I was going to necessarily get the word out. This is before 2016, I didn't have the podcast. I didn't have the means to necessarily get it out other than my email list that I had, which was much smaller at the time, much smaller at the time. And so, but I was obedient. I just stepped out and I took action and I wrote it. Do the same thing. Be obedient. Be obedient to that call. Get that message out that you're supposed to get out into the world. I would argue that we need your gift. Your gift was given to you for a purpose. We need that gift. We need your supply. A pastor that I listened to his podcast. He said that he's got a big ministry now. He's on TV all over the world, but he didn't start there. He started at nursing homes. He went to nursing homes because he said they would say yes to him. They were eager to have people come in and speak. And so he did that. He spoke for free, didn't make any money. It gave him an amazing practice. But he started somewhere. Start somewhere. Get that first word on paper. If you're supposed to be preaching somewhere, go do it. If you feel like you have a ministry that you're supposed to start, find out who is your audience. Who are the people you're trying to reach? Where are they at? Where are they at online? Start a Facebook group. Go to those ministries. Go to a nursing home if you have to. Go to somebody who's going to say yes to you. Rotary clubs, wherever. Start doing it. Start today. Take action. Here is your sign right here. If you're waiting for a sign from God, here it is. Take action. Don't wait any longer. Buy up the opportunity. Take advantage of the opportunity. We're only here for a short time, guys. Life is short. Life is fleeting. We're not promised tomorrow. Be obedient to that call that you have in your life. So first thing, what's stopping most people is they're not sure where to start. Well, if you're in that position, you know what you're supposed to be doing. You have a dream or a desire. You're just not sure what that next step is. You need a little help. Email me. Seriously, I'm happy to answer emails. I respond to every single one of them. Ryan@ryanrieger.com. I'll point you in the right direction, especially if it has anything to do with internet, with technology, with reaching people. I have some experience there, and happy to help you, point you in the right direction, give you some doable next steps to start taking action on your dream. The biggest one that I see that stops people is fear. It could be fear of failure. A lot of times it's failure that you're going to step out and going to fall flat on your face. Well, you know what? That could happen. But in this age that we live in, it's not like anything you do is going to cost you thousands of dollars. It's not going to be required to take out your life savings and hope and pray that this thing works. Whether it's a business or a ministry, you can start very small and start taking that very small action in the direction of where you're supposed to go. You might be fearful that you're going to have to quit your job right away. Well, no, of course you're not going to have to do that. You can get a lot done in just a few hours a week, especially with the internet. We talked about this. You might have to invest a lot of money. No, probably not. And most of the strategies we teach for building a business online, you can start free. You can start a free Facebook group around that topic, that niche that you are passionate about, that you feel called to talk about, to be an expert in. And you are an expert. You're an expert in something. You can start a free Facebook group and just start putting out content. You can start a podcast. It's a little bit more of a time commitment, but that can be done free as well. You think you might take a lot of time. It doesn't have to. Use what you have. Take advantage of the time that you do have. If it's like you're like me, you have smaller kids. Maybe it's before they get up or after they go to bed. Do something. Maybe it's the weekends, whatever time you have. I got an email from somebody a few days ago who is building an Amazon business, and they have a full-time job. And they told me that they are outsourcing products every day. I don't think this person has any kids or is not married, but they're outsourcing products every day after their job, even when they don't feel like it. Now that's the attitude that's gonna make this person successful, and the work ethic is gonna make somebody successful. And I'm not saying go hustle, never see your family. It doesn't have to be that way. You can take the little snippets of time that you do have and invest in this new business, this new venture. Before I wrap up, I want to point you to a couple of passages of scripture. Luke 19 is the parable of the pound, and it's almost identical to the parable of the talents that is much more talked about over in Matthew 25. Read those. I believe that every single one of us are entrusted with some talents. And I don't necessarily mean money. I mean literal like talents, abilities, skills, passions. It could be your dream, that goal that you have, something that's been nagging you for years, but you've not taken action on. And I believe that it's our duty, it's our responsibility to invest that and do something with that, be a blessing to other people. And so this is the episode for you, to encourage you to take action on that. You know what it is. And if you don't, you know that you're not sure exactly what your talent is, follow your curiosities. What are you interested in? But don't just sit there. There is a world that needs exactly what you have. They need exactly that skill, that passion, that talent that you have. You are anointed to solve a problem. What is it? Take action on that. Okay. And if you're not sure, seriously, I implore you, email me, ryan@ryanrieger.com. I'm happy to answer emails. I love the brainstorming process. Happy to help point you in the right direction to a course, a book, a simple strategy to help you take action on that dream, that goal that you have inside your heart. So I hope this episode has been helpful for any of you that are struggling, not sure what the next step is, what to do, how to move forward. The point is just take action. Don't sit there. You have a job to do. You have a responsibility to invest your talents to be a blessing to other people. So again, feel free to email me, ryan@ryanrieger.com, and grab a copy of this book, Finding Your Greatest Place. Just go to streamsofincomeradio.com. This is episode 71, entitled, What Are You Waiting For? All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Let me know how I can help you. See you next week.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.